Are into pick ban here. What do we think of music? Music feels a little loud, huh? Okay. Actually, okay, let's take a look at this. This is important. Caitlyn and Misfortune are the bans. So Demacia and Justice banning out Misfortune for Miso. That does make sense. Force him off onto a different AD carry. I'll have to change it to look up usernames in game. Okay, no problem. I just it's something that some people have like brought to my attention. I told them I would I'd talk to you about it. Okay, so this is me talking to you. All right, Alawi as the follow ban and Jin. So both AD carries having their one tricks banned out. Caitlyn, Jin, Misfortune, probably more ADs banned than most would expect. Alawi, the respect ban for Matt. Matt, notoriously a Scion Alawi player, but the Scion having seen a little bit less prevalency recently, so Alawi banned out here. Gnar banned, which is, I'm not sure, I don't remember Bell showing a lot of Gnar gameplay. And then Set banned, so a couple of tops, maybe there's some practice that went on over the last couple of weeks. Because Set and Gnar I would not have expected, and so we're seeing some bans picked out. But this does mean this is the first time that the Buckaroos, the Jason has had a chance to play Vigar, and they will not wait for it to get to the second, set of picks. They instantly snack it up, and that is blue side pick one. Rel Jarvan is the answer. Jarvan, a fantastic pickup for Boxy, and Rel for Chestnut here. Boxy really looked excellent on the Jarvan in the playoffs last year, so looking to continue that as we head into the new season. Vigar gets through, first time in 3 years. Yeah, we'll have to see if he can make it work. It can be kind of game warping. They look to pick the Amumu, so it does look like they want to go team fight, although the Misfortune has already been snagged, so its best partner taken away from it there. I'm not sure what they'll go here. Whether it be, top, support, or AD. Oh, and Sivir is snagged up here at the line. So that's a very interesting pick. And Cho'Gath. Now, I will say one thing. There was a patch that came through yesterday, and Cho'Gath did receive a small nerf. So let's see if this Cho'Gath is just a hover, or if it does actually get locked in here. Vigar, Amumu, Sivir, though, lots of zone control. With the Amumu threatening to, get the engage, the Vigar box, they'll definitely be playing off Vigar box cooldown. And then the Sivir with a boomerang, so they should have a lot of ways to deal damage kind of at a range, and then the Amumu has that threat, right? So I can see it being difficult for Amumu to engage with them respecting the Vigar. So we'll have to pay attention to that as the game goes on. Looks like a Darius ban here, some more top lane bans. That does kind of make sense. Does Justice have a counter in mind? For Vigar, the Vigar counter is Fizz. So if Lowell is willing to play Fizz here, I think we would all love that, right? I don't see it happening. He strikes me as just much more of a comfortable, a comfortable control mage player. And that's what they're going to ban out. Yeah, Ahri, maybe an Anivia, something that can just hang out. Yeah, I'm interested though to see, because Lowell, never a conversation that we had last year while on the same team about him wanting to leave a Vigar. So feeling the comfortability on his new roster to leave it up. He's gonna be talking about Vigar all week. Yeah, probably. But you're acting as if he doesn't talk about Vigar all day, all the time, anyways. So, Melio, that's a Dan respect ban. I will say congratulations to Dan making Diamond one of our few Diamond players in the league. A lot, you know, when you're the highest rank on your team, there's a lot of pressure to show up and perform on the day. So eyes are going to be focused on what can the diamond player do in bot lane. Is it going to be enough to carry the Buckaroos through to a strong victory? I think we have to be very, you know, critical of the pressure that comes with them. Dan and Crispy, the two diamond players. Yeah, but he's gonna do it while giddy. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he'll be excited. All right, Aurelion Sol. That was kind of the other one I thought he might go with. If Anivia got banned, even with the Kale ban, they still ban Aurelion Sol. I'm a little bit curious why Kale. Are they thinking this could be a Cho'Gath mid and a pick top? Not sure. That doesn't make too much sense to me, but the Kale ban does leave up another wave clear. I think if you ban Asol, he was just gonna go Anivia or something anyways. So I don't hate it, and it's a comfortable matchup for Vigar. Matt with his last pick here, and they will leave counter pickup for Bell on the side of the Justice. They can either go Cho'Gath. No, Cho'Gath is already selected, so they need an AD. Sion is selected. He heard Hope whispering on his shoulder, telling him to do it. And Xayah is hovered. This could be the lock-in here. And we get, you know, the Alistar for Dan. Sivir Alistar is a great high-level lane. Very excited to see this lane. I'm not sure how it synergizes with Amumu, but I think we've got a good lane. Some good picks on the side of the Buckaroos, but maybe not a cohesive team comp. On the side of the Justice, honestly kind of the same, right? Jarvan wants to early gank. Cho'Gath can try and help set that up to rupture after the flag and drag. But Xayah, Rell, they don't really work super well together. The Asol is just kind of an answer into the lane. And so I will say the scaling is fairly even, right? Sivir and Vigar and Sion. You've got Cho'Gath, Asol, and Xayah. So this game absolutely could go late game. Both teams have ways to close it out. It's time for us to get into game one of the LCC Season 3. Gotta turn the music off. Alright, let's do this. Let's see what the level 1s come out. Come on, guys. Is this hype or what? The LCC is back, baby. We got this. All right. So interesting, you know, change in strategy. Jungler is showing mid here for the Buckaroos, whereas both of them with a 5-point defense, but the mid laners are different here. And actually, what Simon could do, he's got the range advantage, so he could just land a couple of autos here. But of course, he doesn't see the rest of the team. They don't feel confident in that. And it's a standard 5-point, so they're going to cover everything.
Let me give you a hug.
Minions have spawned. No action has gone down so far. Kind of prepare for what's about to go down. Now, I do think with both of these teams having heavily scaling comps, we could see a little bit of a relaxed early game into a much more hectic, a much more hectic late game. But we'll have to see. They might prove me wrong here. All right. Where to? Where to, guys? Top is going smoothly. Mid, it looks like Jason has a slight, sorry, Sorelius has a slight push in mid. And bot, if we look bot, it looks like Inferno and Chestnut have earned themselves a slight advantage here down in bot lane. So things starting off fairly slowly here. I do think that we have to watch Matt and Bell in the top lane. These are two very, very good friends in real life. I mean, potentially even best friends from what I've heard. And so that's definitely something that we should look forward as the Demacian just to secure level 2 early bot side here. Matt already with the early push and Bell already down quite a bit of health here as Boxy is pathing bot and we see Gemsy pathing from bot to top. So junglers heading in different directions here. It looks like they're kind of setting up, but just their melee supports, I don't expect too much to happen here, as things are starting to even out a bit. Junglers still setting things up. Nothing has happened too early. I do like this nice ward from Lowell. Lowell will be able to see this rotation, and Gemzy also is going to go ahead and get that same ward down to try and anticipate the Jarvan. But Jarvan is not here. Jarvan is going to be bot side, so a really nice early pathing from Boxy. Very decided on this. And it does look like bot, we've got some things going down as the knockout will come through. The stun goes down onto Dan. Dan is fairly tanky, but he's only level 3. And if Rel didn't have heal and had exhaust or ignite, probably ignite there, that could have been a different story. Let's head back top as Matt continues to land another slam there. And Bell with a rupture just missing. So does look like a little bit of a tale of two lanes. As the Justice are succeeding bot lane, there's a slight gold and CS lead there, about 10 CS. And top it is the same for the Buckaroos and Matt. Now, an early gank will come down and Boxy will look for Cerelius mid. Cerelius will simply walk it out, and Gemzy was there for the counter gank just in case. Gemzy going to channel it back here, and Matt will use an early teleport. So we're in a good phase here. Dan is here early for an early roam at about 4:15, which I believe is just after the top lane nerfs. I think it's only 250 for mid lane. There are new roaming nerfs. So, and also we see another, look at this roam from Chestnut here. A pink ward going down all the way down onto the blue. So fantastic vision game being played here from both sides. And they really are a level up here. Compared to what we have seen in the first couple of seasons. So really, yeah, very excited to see where this game heads. It is about 5 minutes in, no kills so far. Bell has been able to weather the early storm, but Matt, another nice chunk, and will proc grasp there onto Bell. So very happy as the Buckaroos and the Justice head into the 5-minute mark. 0 kills so far in the LCC. How many minutes in until the LCC gets its first kill, huh? I will say, solo casting means I'm going to have to do a lot more talking, and that was a nice late proc there from Matt onto Bell. Bell is very low here. This is absolutely a kill angle if I've ever seen one, and Matt will definitely be looking for it as he's just going to simply dive. But the force, he has to flash out, and he doesn't die there. That wasn't a goo death, but instead he will just flash out, and now there's no flash. Boxy is up here. The Flag and Drag will land. I'm not sure what Bell is going to be able to do here as the Vorpal Spikes will come down. The Q is going to land. Rupture does land. He should flash out, and it's a first blood going over to Bell. He will finally flash out. The secondary Flag and Drag comes through, and this means that there should be a play bot side for the Buckaroos, and we do see a roaming bot as Cerelius here is on the roam, but there's really not much they can do in terms of collapsing here. Dan is going to go for a play, but instead Gemzy will just secure Dragon. But as Gemzy secures Dragon, Boxy will secure top side. So Matt already, with an early teleport forced out, he did get the flash there from Bell, but Bell picked up the early kill, and that should, if I check the gold, that actually puts Bell ahead in gold. And so Lowell here, after potentially getting caught out, beautiful bandage toss from Gemzy. The box just missing. Lowell is just on the side here. He will eventually go down, and that is a first kill for the Buckaroos as Cerelius will snag one more as Boxy tries to flag and drag over the wall. So that's 2 kills going over to the side of the Buckaroos, landing on both of their solo laners as Boxy and Lowell go down for the Justice. Just a nice collapse there. Bell unable to participate in that team fight. As we see the new teleport for Season 3. Check that one out. Brand new teleport. Looks like we've got some mixed feelings in the chat. I totally understand that. Yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. I do expect him to be able, on the sign, to be able to continue to press. But yeah, Lowell now with no flash. This could be a repeat gank angle for the Buckaroos. That's a flash coming out, and the headbutt will go down. Rel engage in from Chestnut, beautiful engage here, but instead it looks like everybody will just be able to barely walk away. And so at the end of the day, it is a Alistar flash for not much more. And Boxy is repeat ganking top here onto Matt as the Cataclysm will go down. Matt honestly just kind of gonna walk this one out. Pretty tanky at this point. Only sitting on Bomby Cinders and Boots, but just natural resistances. And Boxy's looking for this kill, trying to stop the proxy, trying to take the free gold. This one more flag and drag will land, and a little follow comes through. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're enjoying the LCC action here as we kick off Season 3, Week 1. Alright, let's see where these teams evolve to. Matt did try out the proxy pretty much instantly. I mean, it was for one wave. He gave gold over, and we'll check out the gold again here. He is slightly up now on gold, but a 15 CS lead top. It's about a 20 CS lead bot, and mid is fairly even. So the Aurelian Soul more or less able to handle what the Vigar has brought so far. We do see Sion Sion in his spot. Look at all these pings going out, and he's gonna be looking to engage here from bot lane. I mean, this is definitely a play that we need to pay attention to, as a box will land. Sorelius lands some nice free chunk damage, so he won't be able to answer much. And this is Sion going down onto Chestnut. Chestnut landed but snagged out of the crash down just in time, and that will be the feat of or the feat of warfare. It's not full feats, I don't believe. Miso with a pickup there. So honestly, landing gold onto who they want to. Bell is able to collect a demolish proc though, so a full plate and a half basically for free in a losing lane. We'll have to see if that one comes in handy later. That was a crazy roam. That was honestly an insane play. that was pretty hype, guys. I like that play. I feel bad for Chestnut. He should have just flashed, to be honest. He went for the crash down, and actually playing into Chestnut last year, that exact thing happened to me, and he hooked me out of the crash down, and it just feels bad. Yeah, so in hindsight, he'll wish he'd have flashed. Look at this. Sion is insane, by the way. But the Vorpal Strikes, Cho'Gath should be able to just heal this up. It looks like Boxy and Chestnut are going to team up here on the second spawning of Grubs. There's an assist ping that goes down mid. Nice little feral scream here. Stun landing. Chestnut finding Dan as the flag and drag into Crashdown will land. Dan does use his ultimate. Unbreakable Will is used there. And so that is an ulti use pre-fight. I will say it looks like the Justice have a slight slight advantage here in terms of positioning, but just with the pressure that Matt is able to continue to have here on top side, they're not able to really own this river. They don't have the lane prio. And now Sorelius here, we see Sorelius pushing out mid as well. So the Buckaroos controlling their lanes a little bit better here as things begin to go down. And Lowell and Boxy, Lowell wants to take an aggressive path here. He will just walk in, not caught out by a box. Dan here on a ward. Chestnut spotted out. So a lot of posturing. Yeah, a lot of posturing here. Inferno and Miso, it looks like we could see a little brawl down here as Miso is going to go for it. The boomerang will almost land. The spell shield comes through. Inferno is in a lot of trouble here, and the ultimate will come out. The flash from Miso as a sign of respect, and so that's ulti for flash. I do think that Inferno will be happy with that, but he is still forced to back, and the XP will be awarded over to Miso despite expending the flash. There's just an early spell shield instead of waiting for the feather root to come through, and but you know, at the end of the day, I think that was probably a kill angle. Boxy will flag and drag onto Dan, but Gemsy is here for his team. Chestnut is roaming early. And already the crash down in, and Dan will go down. There is no ultimate there. The ulti comes through the falling sky, and Gemsy will go down. That's a double kill, so that's 3 kills already in the game over to Bell. And the Demacia and Justice will take the fight. As all of a sudden, Cerelius begins to be chased down. He has to flash out, and he's shut down by the Dragon. As Lowell picks up his first of the game. That's a 3-for-0 team fight going over to the Justice. And it's a quick pause here. I'm not sure what the pause is in reference to. We did have a quick disconnect. Let's go ahead and check chat, see what's going on there. Looks like we had a quick issue. Matt did not have communications there during this, so they're just trying to get this reset up. But what a play from the DMJ, huh? That was a great play. Mental pause. Yeah, probably. Sometimes, hey, don't you wish that you could take those sometimes? I kind of wish I do. Nobody's hopped in. Jason hasn't hopped in here to tell me what's going on. So I'm assuming that we could be coming back quickly, but this is something that we do have in the league, of course. It's something we want to try and avoid in the league. We want to avoid as many technical issues or interruptions as we can. And while we're doing this, I'm going to go ahead and take a moment to just fix my UI a little bit. Make these look a little bit better. Good. Let's move this one over. There. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Matt's lead is just gone. I mean, probably true. Rock solid from Fork. I feel like Heartsteel Prio would have been better given the Cho went it. That's an interesting take. Let's take a moment to look at itemization here. So an early Heartsteel from the Cho'Gath. I will say Cho'Gath does have a shutdown now that can be collected. And we don't have a full item yet completed by anybody on the Buckaroos. And so maybe that's what it came down to. It was just the item completions that came through. It was a Rylai's, a fully completed Rylai's that Simon was able to, Lowell was able to fight on. So why is it so pixelated? Let's take a look at that. I apologize, guys. My bitrate is fine. Let's take a look at the streaming output, see if I can up it a little bit. Oh, I don't think I can edit it while I'm in it.
A summoner has reconnected.
Looks like I just heard a reconnect come through. It's completely clear for me, but it must be an issue with the broadcasting software. So I can definitely take a look at that. It's been all game. It's been this bad all game. It's clear for some of you, but not clear for others. Okay. Let me know if it's on my end or if it's on your end. But let's get back into the game, because if it is bad, then I can just try and adjust things. I'm not sure what I could actually change, but I can try and change. So let me know if it's on my end or your end. Alright. Things are going to kind of filter out here as looks like both teams are back and ready to go. And it will be Dragon secured for the Demacia and Justice. Let's take a look at the overall gold lead. It is just about 600 gold up for the Justice here, which is a nice little lead, and it's very stable, which is where our late game scaling champions want to be. Aurelion Sol is going to be very happy being equal on kills and slightly up in CS. So I'm very content here. Definitely up in XP as well, something important to pay attention to. One thing about the pauses is that it could cause our other matches to get delayed in schedule. So that's just something that we'll have to navigate as the season goes on, alright? So something to keep in mind if we have long pauses we might see delays in later matches. Lowell here is going to actually get really aggressive off the box timing, but Boxy's going to flag and drag in as well, so forcing a lot of cooldowns out, and this is a Cataclysm down on a Matt, forces Flash out, so Matt with finally respecting, after taking quite a bit of damage, forced out all those cooldowns, and he will walk away with his life. But yeah, Boxy, I believe that was his 3rd return trip to the top lane, so Chaffle says, seems like it's on us somehow. We'll buy better hardware. All right, good. You know, viewers, work on that, okay? Yeah, it's on viewer end. Okay, thanks. Okay, appreciate it. I hope so. Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see when I watch the YouTube video afterwards. Who knows? All right. Yeah, let's restock here because actually they were able to catch up in gold, which I'm guessing was just collecting waves here, which is kind of insane that there's so much gold in the waves and in the CS that they're able to collect. Matt really trying to press the lead here onto Bell. Cerelius going to start to look for some type of advantages, but at some point, we're 15 minutes into the game now. There has to be a point in which the lane swaps do happen, in which we move bots to mid, or get them out of whatever situation that is. So there's a rupture into Scream, which means he won't have either for the Q cast, so he does have to back off the wave there. But Miso just very happily and safely farming here with a Ricochet, and he has stabilized. He has not caught back up in CS, but he absolutely has stopped the bleeding, and that early advantage Inferno has been able to keep and hold on to it throughout this entire phase of the game here. Another Ricochet bounce will go down, and so Inferno just slowly taking chip damage, but the quick wave clear with the feathers, I'm able to push through here. So what does he buy with that roam time? Starts to roll up, and Slid with a follow. Appreciate the follow. Thank you, Slid. Hope you're enjoying LCC Season 3 action. We're 16 minutes into the season here. We've got a full season ahead of us, so stay tuned for what we got going on, including the next game's coming up tonight. But the Justice and the Buckaroos, they've put this one on low. This game's been put on a simmer for us. They're letting us have a nice little chat here. I would like to buy more pixels, please. And it's a flash from Dan, so he will land. And this is what I was talking about. This could be a shutdown, going over to Bell, and it will be a flash out. Ultimates could come through, and that was the Scion ulti in respawn, but it won't be enough as Inferno looks to go for Miso. The spell shield does come out, the ultimate going down, but it will be quite enough damage, and Miso will just walk out. And so that is a flash bot side expended and a flash top side expended. As soon as Inferno saw Gemsy top, he went for the play. So Dan and Gemsy, they made that play, but it cost them their 80s flash there. I will say, yeah, the choice to not use the ultimate, I feel like they've got to be looking at this Herald fight or at this next Dragon fight, and it's like, look, we can gank, but we can't use ulti. And yeah, I do think that like the shutdown on Cho maybe isn't worth what the Teamfight Amumu ultimate can bring. Other than that, you just gotta say that, it doesn't have that long a cooldown, right? Like just kind of use the ultimate and play around it, right? He just dies if a Mimu hits Q. No need for ulti. Yeah, that could be, that could be a take. I still think he did have a lot of health that he got out with, and he still had flash. They were kind of chain CCing, so. Wow, look at him. He just puts the rupture on the back line there. We see he's pretty much just trying to get this out. As Boxy, here we go. First Herald ride of the season. Will it land? It does. It connects. And as he does that, Gemsy will connect. Matt is here alone as Cataclysm into Crashdown will land Rupture. So Matt has just been in a bouncy house for the past couple of minutes. The Feast actually missed, and so that is really unfortunate because Boxy picks that up, but just too bad that the Feast didn't land for him there. Are we still on 0 feasts? No, we've got 6 feasts. But he's... Okay. You freaked me out, Clone. Worth for Matt, good death, etc. You know, yada yada, etc. etc. Yeah. They... You know, I mean, come on. They were going to use Herald somewhere, right? So why not use it top into the Scion? Let me get all my farm, right? You still got a bunch of the XP and farm out of that. It's not like there's some dying to tower right now, right? You know, they went for the dragon stacking, which I do have a lot of respect for. I will say that needs to be their win con now. They need to get really prioritize team fighting with this Amumu ulti and dragon stacking. And I will say that Amumu ult would definitely be up now in time if he had just used it top. So. Currently 2 for 2 on objectives. Yeah, I believe you're correct. So next one will give feats. Yeah, very interesting. There is also the. Yeah, I mean the Justice already have top tower with that one, so I'm not sure. We'll have to see what goes down here. It's gonna be the next dragon. This next dragon will be the big team fight because we're at 20 minutes. It's the Otacon is up, but surely they don't flip Otacon. Surely we all know by now that you don't take Otacon, you don't just flip Otacon. And barrier forced out by Lowell. So nice use there. And Lowell is gonna want to get a reset and at least threaten to be topside, as Dan will continue to look for a little roam. Let's talk about the vision game here, as he does go in with a sweeper. I will say Chestnut has looked pretty good here as they go onto Dan, but a nice little Heba Pulverize lands in as a forced flash out as the skies descend. So you get some counter damage, just enough damage off to dissuade them from going any further. But a nice Heba Pulverize from Dan executed well, and flash forced out on the Aurelion Soul. They do have a flash timer here, and that's something that they should pay attention to in these team fights. Getting onto Aurelion Soul with no flash will be important for the Buckaroos. I will say, despite the fact that the Justice have a kill lead, it was the Buckaroos who picked up the early kill feat with a nice mat gank bot side. And Dan is here topside to look onto Bell once again. It will be another Headbutt Pulverize into Scion Smash, but they didn't chain the CC, they used it all at once, and so Bell, no flash, he is just going to emote the thumbs up there, and he walks out without having to expend his flash. And actually, look at that, he's going to get a little bit of wave clear from the Otacon. So no problem there, no worries.
Let me give you
and Auto Spectator's going a little bit crazy here as we look from lane to lane. We are at the point of the game, 22.5 minutes, where, you know, it looks like just because we haven't had too many kills go down, we do have a lot of bounties on the board. Something to pay attention to. And both mids will be bot here now, as Cerelius has returned and he has garnered an XP lead now over his counterpart, and so that is definitely something that they'll be hoping to use, trying to get Matt and Cerelius to level 16 quickly. That'll be very important for these. Honestly, we're just about in the late game here. I would call this the mid game just because we only have 2 items completed, one for the junglers. So once we get to 3+ items, that is when late game really starts. And so Lowell returning mid, he just doesn't want to lane into Cerelius at this point. And a couple ricochet bounces will land on it, but really not too much. Nothing sticks, no damage sticks. So Chestnut and Dan deciding the lines of war for this matchup. And it looks like both sides have given up on the topside Otacon. And this third dragon will be what they rumble over. Inferno pressing into tower here as Cerelius is backed off. And now going to walk in with his team to try and secure some vision here. Dan and Miso sitting mid, but just the wave clear of Aurelion Soul is crazy. They're able to garner so much effort here. Cho'Gath is bot to secure the feast, and we do see Dan is topside, so they're going to go ahead and get this started off. This should be secured with feast. We'll have to see what Amumu can do. If he goes in, Feast will be secured. And so they're just going to give it. It's going to be Dragon for topside. As the teleport goes through top, Lowell will show up. Skies descend, but Matt is, I mean, it didn't even go through his... Oh, and that was his flight. I was going to say that barely even cut through his shield. So Matt happily takes tower. Boxy's here now, and I will say a Matt kill now could be consequential, but he will just ultimate out. So Otacon or Baron, I do think Otacon is probably the next thing for these teams to fight for. They didn't even want to fight for that dragon, and I'm beginning to wonder really what they're looking for as a team. Like, what is the point where the Buckaroos want to start fighting? Is it level 18 max items? I thought it would be that dragon, but they decided to give it for a single tower. And I thought that would be, it is feats. It is feats for the Demacian Justice. So about 1100k gold up, a very close game here for either team. Alright, and the Justice are just going to start it. They've realized that the Buckaroos don't want to fight them. And so the Demacian Justice will simply start the fight. It looks like the rest of them are not here. Smite is secured. And this is the, this is the respawn. This is Voracious Otacon. And so the rest of the Buckaroos are going to back up and just let Matt die. And Matt just will die. There's really nothing he can do here. They're going to try and find a pick on a Bell. Bell will flash out, but at this point, Bell has just shy of 6,000 HP. And so, you know, I mean, you could argue whether or not he even needed a flash there, right? He will just simply walk out of that fight. A good death. Good death, doll. Okay. That's the vote. Alright, at this point in the game with Voracious Otacon, I do think that the Justice are going to want to play pretty aggressive here. I think what they could do is threaten a Baron. We'll see what they do with the Voracious buff. Gemsy here looking to collapse onto Luell. Will land. The first Bandage Toss will miss, and the flight comes out. The second will land, though. Pull him out as the Headbutt Pulverize does come through. Simon flashes over, but he gets double flashes from the side of the Buckaroos, and that will be his Voracious Otacon life spent. So not a kill, but the Voracious buff being used. Oh, Vygar stacks. Good call. Vygar's up to 220 stacks here. 1, 1, and 1 on the Vygar, fully stacked Rod of Ages. So, yeah, we'll have to see if we can do that. Remove Voracious, please. We want to check Vygar AP? Vygar AP up to 672. So it's getting there. It's getting there for sure. 673 now. How many Cho'Gath stacks are we up to? 9 Cho'Gath stacks. So definitely a very late game scaling game. I'm not sure if we'll see another game go to 28 minutes with 10 kills. When we asked all of our rookies how many kills do you want to see in a game, most of them said much more than this. As Scion is going to try and get it started for us as the engage goes through, but a beautiful ultimate coming out. The box lands, and Inferno, nothing else he'll be able to do here, but it's just the Voracious. And so they land a massive teamfight win as the falling skies descend here. Gemsy with another Bandage Toss down under tower, but this will be the first actual kill that goes through because the others were just the Voracious Otacon buff. And so, yeah, I mean, a great team fight here from the Buckaroos, but Gemsy overstepping too far, and at the end of the day, it's one kill, and it's only one kill that goes over, and it's the Justice that pick it up. All right, we've got a lot of chat going on. We got to keep in mind that we want to be nice. So we're not going to talk about how Matt just missed cannon, because that would be embarrassing, right? He wouldn't want us to talk about that. So we're not going to talk about that, and we're not going to talk about mistakes that happen. All right? We're just it's a lot of -1s in chat. All right, no, we're just going to be nice. And we're going to talk about things that could happen, angles that we could see, items that we see coming in. So we do see 2.5 items for most of the players in the game right now. DMJ lands it in, but it's taken away at just the wrong moment for him. So he did go for the bandage toss, but he didn't get a chance to smite, and before he could, it was feasted away by Bell, which brings Bell up to 10. And now that there's no jungle, I do think that the Justice are just going to look for the Baron, as we have a subscription come through. Thank you so much, Just Mumbled Crust. Thank you, Bassoon, for the gifted sub. Appreciate that. Hope you're enjoying Monster Hunter Wilds. And we get to see you play next. Alright, quick little sip check here, as the Demacian Justice are going to take an uncontested Baron, and their 3k gold lead with Baron should balloon here. And it is feasted. They did wait for the feast timer, so that is 11 feast stacks. Quite a few. Let's see the items that come through, then let's put the items away. As Miso has his job here, he is on wave clear duty. And it looks like Cerelius could be the first player this season to hit 300 CS in a game. So we are at 30 minutes and he's got 290 CS. This has been a heavily focused farm game. And yeah, I mean, that has been the win condition, right? Get our scaling champions scaled up. As he's gonna look for the all-in here, but the force will be flashed out. Inferno went for it, but the counter flash from Cerelius to dodge the feather root, and then he just presses the outplay button at the end of the day, and he picks up a kill here. So I like the angle. I do really like the angle from Inferno. Unfortunately, it was onto a champion with flash, and you have to respect that. So at the end of the day, he's able to just flash out. And that is one Baron down. DMJ missing a bandage toss here, but the rupture from Bell will also miss. Look at Sion here. Look at Matt coming around the angle. So you can see Lowell has the exit out of the back. That's what they want to do. As DMJ lands a massive ultimate onto 3. The ultimate from Sion will come through. DMJ will burn down, and Bell is able to just tank this entire team fight as the flag and drag demolishes, and Miso is deleted from the map. The box will go down to try and save this, but a nice magnet storm coming out from Chestnut. Flag and drag here onto Cerelius, just misses, headbutted out from Dan, and so they will escape. It's a 2-4-0 team fight as the Demacian Justice successfully fend off the attack from DMJ, Matt, and Dan. The triple tank comp from the Buckaroos. Not enough here, not enough damage coming out from Miso and Cerelius. I mean, dude, this Cho'Gath is just so incredibly tanky at this point. All right, so I mean, resetting here. The fact that we're having these these big fights and like 2 people die is just crazy. We're 15 kills in. You know what, 33 minutes in here, so it does look like Soul is probably the next objective on the table. It is Mountain Soul, so the permanent, the permanent shield. I'm not sure that's what we needed. I think we needed like I don't know, any other soul, right? Mountain Soul is just going to make this game take so much longer. And this could be Cerelius getting caught out here as the flash stun will land. The Cataclysm goes down. The rupture's there. A beautiful box onto 3. Inferno with a gorgeous feather root. And he's able to successfully ultimate away from the Curse of the Sad Mummy. And DMJ will now drop. That was gorgeous Xayah timing. Just spamming the ultimate. You know he had to be. And that will be 2 that go down, and it's just a positioning issue from the Buckaroos. And the Justice do look to take this tower. They don't have Baron anymore, and so it might be a reset into Soul. But I mean, the scaling from the side of the Justice is definitely going to be a problem. Xayah doesn't have very many kills, but up to almost 300 CS. But I mean, look at their solo lanes. This is, Lowell at 6, 1, and 2. and Bell at 4-0 and 6 on the Cho'Gath. Definitely a big problem. And to be honest, I mean, this is the matchup that we called out as potentially the two best solo lanes in the league for both the Buckaroos, for the Buckaroos, right? Both top and mid lane, and 1-4-1 and 2-2-1. This hasn't been the standout game that they would have wanted, as Soul will begin to go down for the Justice, and it looks like it might just be uncontested as Gemsy, Cerelius, and Miso, yeah, they're just not there. Matt is still coming off cooldown here, so yeah, this is... Why is it so bad? I'm sorry about the stream, guys. It's like perfectly clear for me on my end, so I don't know what I could do. I'll have to change something about the output rate. I'll restart the stream after this game. I'm sorry that it's so bad. I do really apologize. Thank you for the feedback. It's fine for you. Like, you can see clearly, TJ, that it says like what their names are. You can read their names.
Huh.
What is this copy pasta from Hope? Oh, yours got better. Okay, let me. Yeah, I can try and restart. I don't know what to do, guys. Let me know. It does seem like it's pretty bad for quite a few, so. No, keep the copy pasta going. He deserves it. This is first pick. I mean, and thank you for reminding me. You know, I think a lot of us were surprised when Llewellyn got first picked, but into Cerelius here, who a lot, including me, would consider this more or less just a straight up player-to-player counter matchup. Yeah, he's showing Cerelius. He's giving Cerelius the business here on his A-Soul. As Chestnut will look for the crash down into Magnet Storm, the Cataclysm comes through, and Cerelius will drop, not unable to get much off. Gemsy getting the ultimate, but it's after his mid laner is already dead, and Miso now has to leave. Dan trying to land some CC, but there's no damage for his team. The boomerang comes through, but Chestnut is able to live it out. Dan is on the other side of this fight. Miso now being dove under tower, and Matt is on the other side of the map while his team is obliterated. And the Demacian Justice with a gorgeous engage. Chestnut does not miss. His engage is always hit, and that was just a beautiful find there, as Boxy and Chestnut able to really team up there as a duo and find what is probably going to be the game-winning engage. Let's see what happens here. They're just ignoring the Scion. They are just going to go straight for the tower. Bell is going to just eat these tower shots, and there's nothing else they have to do, and that is game one of the LCC. The Demacian Justice are victorious in a 37-minute scaling banger of a game. Congrats, GG's.